Hey, welcome back to the Cooking with Artis show. Today, we decided that we will bring a breakfast dish to you. What I'm cooking today is cheesy grits. And I know a lot of people don't like grits for some reason or another, but what I decided to do is put a twist to grits, and I have added different flavors of cheese. And these cheeses is going to give the grits a different flavor. So many people that don't like grits, when they try these cheesy grits, they fall in love with grits. Believe it or not, my mother, every morning before she passed away, would almost have grits every morning. And she was 96 years old when she passed away. So we're bringing cheesy grits to you and fried green tomatoes. This is going to be our breakfast dish. And with the fried green tomatoes, you can add bacon with it, fish, chicken, whatever your preference is as far as a breakfast meat you can add to that dish. We choose to add fried chicken to the dish, but our main course today is going to be the cheesy grits and the fried green tomatoes. So come and go with me to the kitchen where we're going to cook this cheesy grits and green fried tomatoes. Come on and go with me. Hey, today we're going to be cooking some good old-fashioned grits the way I like it. You know, a lot of people don't like grits, but I love grits. I love grits, and I love them with cheese. So we're going to be making cheesy grits today. So here I have my boiling water. I have about 2 cups of boiling water boiling right now. And what I'm going to do is add a teaspoon of salt, kosher salt, to the water. You know, about a teaspoon of salt. Stir that up in there, my water. And I'm going to add a tablespoon of butter to the water. And stir it up really good. Let it get in your water and dissolve. Making some cheesy grits today. I love cheesy grits. I don't know about you, but I love cheesy grits. As I stated, I love cheese, and I love everything almost goes with cheese. And I don't know, grits to me without cheese is not grits. I mean, I used to do just the butter and the grits, but give me my cheese with my grits. All right. And so here we have our water boiling, about 2 cups of water boiling, with a teaspoon of sugar. A teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of butter. And what we're going to do now is add about a cup of grits, instant grits, to that mix, you know, and it's about a cup there, and stir that up in there and let it cook, let it cook down and cook slowly, you know, let it cook, got it cooking nice, let it boil, it's boiling nicely, as you can see, you know, boiling nicely, you know. So we'll be back. We're letting it boil down. Let it boil. Don't cook it, turn it down. Let it cook slowly. Don't let it cook too fast now. Let it cook slowly. Okay. Okay. Also, what I'm going to be cooking today is some fried green tomatoes. I went in my brother's garden and swiped some of his tomatoes out of there. So I got 2 nice, look like heirloom green tomatoes. And I'm going to cut them up. And we're going to have ourselves some fried green tomatoes. So I'm going to commence to cutting them, you know. I'm cutting off the head right here. You know, we don't need that part. I'm going to cut them up in slices. I mean, how? We don't want them too thick. And we don't want them too thin, you know. So we're going to cut our heirloom green tomatoes up, thin slices, kind of not too thick, not too thin. You can see how thick they are, about that thick. Cut them up. And we're going to cut them up, and then we're going to move further. So as you can see, my grits are starting to boil. And when they start to boil, you might want to add more water to them to kind of, you know, slow them down. You don't want them to cook too fast. So that's what we did. We added some more water to them and slow down, because we want our grits to cook and be nice and soft. So they're cooking. Let that cook down. Then we're going to come back to our grits one. Meantime, we're going back to our green tomatoes. Okay, our grits are cooking nicely. So what I'm going to do now is add another tablespoon of butter to that pot of grits. Stir that up in it. And also, I'm going to add a half of a piece of your cream cheese to it. Let that cook in it. About that much, you know, about almost half of the cream cheese. How many ounces is it? It's about 8 ounces, about almost 4 ounces of it into my cheese grits, and let that cook. And then we're going to add a different type of cheese in our seasoning, which would increment some salt, some black pepper. Add our salt to it. You know, add our salt in there. Don't want to over season them. Add our black pepper. Stir that up in it really nice. You know, and let it cook some more. And then I'm gonna come back and add some let that cook for a while. And then I'm gonna add some sharp cheese. Alright. But you can use whatever your favorite cheese is, but I'm using a sharp cheese right now. Okay, but right now what I did, first of all, I put my cream cheese in there. So my cream cheese is cooking with the butter, and my seasoning, my salt and pepper, and we're going to move a little further. Okay, my grits are cooking nicely, and always remember to keep your grits stirred when you're cooking grits so that they don't stick. You know, and don't let them cook too fast. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to add some hickory smoked sharp cheese and also some white cheddar cheese. Just going to take my grits to another notch. Let that cook in there slowly. Turn it down and keep it stirred. Remember to keep it stirred. Oh, you want to keep it stirred. You don't want it to stick. Keep it stirred, you know. And they're cooking really nicely. So we're moving on to our next phase. Okay, here we have our cornmeal and our tomatoes soaking in buttermilk, and we're going to dip them in the cornmeal and then put them in the fryer. Okay, so that's what we're going to do next. So we're going to batter them and put them in the fryer. Okay, get plenty of batter on them. And then we want our grease, always when you're frying, you want to always keep your grease nice and hot. You don't want to put nothing in no cold grease. So we got our grease frying over here. So we're going to go next. As you can see, our tomatoes are frying. We got them in nice hot grease and they're frying really good right now. So turn them over slowly. We want to get brown on each side, you know. So we're letting them fry, get nice and brown on both sides, and we move further. And today our green tomatoes are almost done, and I use basically a cornmeal batter for these green tomatoes. You can also use a flour batter, but I use the cornmeal batter today. Whichever, you know, you feel in the mood for, either or, they're still going to be good. get them nice seasoned right, you know. So those are our green tomatoes. And we're going to make us a dish here. Okay, everything is completed. Here's our cheesy grits with our fried green tomatoes. And also we have fried chicken nuggets. Or you could have fish or shrimp or bacon or sausages. But we're having fried chicken nuggets today with our grits and green tomatoes. Cheesy grits and green tomatoes. So that is Cooking with Artis. Enjoy. Thank you for joining us today with our grits and fried green tomatoes. And hey, I appreciate each and every one of you that tunes in every week to watch the Cooking with Artis show. I'm just excited about we're reaching different countries, and I'm just so excited about this. This is a thrill. They're talking about us in other countries, and as I stated before, tell your friends, share it. When you look at this, share it. Make sure you share it. That's very important that you share this. Make comments, and you know, tell your friends, tell your relatives that the Cooking with Artis show is on. And I want you to share this. Make sure that you share it. And again, I want to thank my producer, editor, Ryan Carter, again for all of his labors. And hopefully in the near future, we hope to bring some other things to you on this Cooking with Artis show. So stay tuned, and you have a blessed week.